Now, let's fire up the budget debate, shall we? Here's how you do it. Democrats, they're taking the White House to task over the budget. Oh, roll that tape.
This budget, along with the relentless attempts to repeal the Affordable Care Act, shows an unimaginable level of cruelty.
125,000 children who will be less healthy because of Trump's budget. It is not an overstatement to say that some children will die because of this.
Right. Some children will die because of the budget, and Hillary says it's cruelty. Look who's here. The man who wrote the budget, none other than Mick Mulvaney. He's the White House budget director. Account for yourself, Mulvaney. You're going to starve children, and you're a cruel guy. Your response?
It was I think you guys didn't include the segment where I think someone accused me of ethnic cleansing and someone else accused me of wanting to murder 1 million people overseas. So thank you for toning it down a little bit as we go into this segment.
You're welcome, Mike. Now, what is your response? I mean, look, it was harsh criticism, assuming that you are going to take stuff away from a lot of people who need it. That's the essence of the criticism. Respond to that.
That Washington uses a different English language than ordinary people. In this town, if we spent $100 on something last year, and we spent $102 on it this year, believe it or not, and I'm not making this up, we call that a cut. You would call it an increase. I would call it an increase. I tell my wife it's an increase when we do that at home. In D.C., we call that a cut. Most of, not all, but most of the dramatic slashing reductions you hear the left referring to in our budget are simply us proposing to grow at a slower rate.
So we're not going to starve children. We are not being cruel. I mean, I'm not being foolish about this. I mean, these were serious charges. Can you refute them totally? No child will die, no child will starve.
They're serious charges, but they're completely unfounded in the truth, and they're offered for political demagoguery. We did an interesting exercise at the Office of Management and Budget and went back to look at some of the things the Democrats said about the Reagan budgets in the 80s, the Bush budgets after that, the George W. Bush budgets in the 2000s, and the headlines are all the same. These are stories that have been written a long time ago. They just rolled them out every single budget season to try and make political points. It's really unfortunate because what we've tried to do here is actually promote a discussion about the taxpayer. That's what this budget was designed to do, to try and change the narrative, to actually look at the way the government spends money through the eyes of the people that actually give us the money in the first place. And it's unfortunate we can't have that discussion. My guess is the left doesn't want to have that discussion, and that's why you're hearing them say all these completely hyperbolic and indefensible things.
Director,